Alrighty. Hello everyone, welcome back to Mondays with me, Sharon. So today, as you can see, laying right in front of me, we are working on a declutter video. Woohoo! Yes, I know. The last time that I actually did something like this was back in the beginning of the year. It was a little bit more different and I dragged it out for longer just because I had more product than I do now. So I could actually dedicate a whole video to a single one of these categories. But as you can see, for this series, this time around, I'm actually gonna clump some of these products together just so that we can, it could be more juicier. And I do, again, like I mentioned, I have fewer products, so it just works out well this way anyways. So for today, this is gonna be a long week series. I am gonna be working on base products, like as you can see, primers, foundations, setting sprays, powders, and concealers. Next week, tomorrow, I'm gonna be working on eyeshadow palettes and anything that has to do with the eyes and brows. The day after that is gonna be highlighters, bronzers, and blushes, and the day after that it's gonna be lips, everybody's favorite. Now for Friday, that's gonna be Thanksgiving. Let's see, I think I want to do something that's going to be a surprise to you guys. I already have an idea of what I think I'm going to do, but I'll leave it just, I'm not going to let you guys know. So I'm going to dip right into this. I'm going to do it basically like old school style YouTube type of decluttering. I'm going to lay it out in front of you, let you guys know what I'm going to keep, what I'm going to declutter, and why. I do have my project pan items within here, and I decided that as far as how I'm going to handle that, let's say I am willing to repurchase a product, I will put it in the keep pile, and if I know that I will not repurchase that product, I will put it in the declutter pile. So that's how things are going to go. Now as far as anything that I do end up decluttering, it's either going to go to family, friends, it's going to go in the bin because it's old, or it's going to I'll either sell it on Poshmark. However that goes, it is going to have a home, so please don't ask for it because it's already been, I know where it's going, basically. So I'm gonna push these off to the side, and this is not gonna be, after I'm finished decluttering everything, this is not where they're gonna be. I'm actually, everything here has a place within my collection, so that's not their final resting place. Here is where I'm gonna put all of the products that I'm decluttering. So I'm gonna put that over here to the, I don't know if you guys can see it in the frame, but it's over there. So I'm gonna start in the order that I actually work with these products. So we're starting with primers. Oh no. Alright, here we go. I have a lot of primers, and you will also notice that I have a lot of setting sprays, and that is because I tend to go through them fairly quickly because it's something that once I find something that I like, I stick to it, and they're just products that you can go through pretty quickly. So at least me personally. So let's go through these. Alright, so my Wet n Wild Photo Focus, what is this? 3-in-1 primer water. I'm just gonna go with that because that's ridiculous, that whole huge name. This is in my project pan, and I do not like the scent of this. I do love the application of it, and I do like the way that it feels on my face and how it sits on under my foundation and all the other products, but I do not like the scent of this, so I will not be repurchasing this. If I do repurchase this, I will be picking up the one in Cucumber because it's just, I feel like it would be a much lighter scent than this one. I typically don't like coconut scents just because they're way too powerful. This one definitely is, so this one I will be decluttering. And if I ever do repurchases or, in the Cucumber scent, I will let you guys know, but I have enough here to go through, so I don't see myself picking one of these up for a little while. So definitely declutter. Let's see, next. You will sense a trend here. You will see it. You won't sense it. You will definitely see it. I have a lot of Wet n Wild products. I love Wet n Wild. I haven't picked up from them in a while, but they're definitely one of my favorite drugstore brands. So here we have the Dewy Face Primer from Wet n Wild. This one I picked up because I do like dewy and I do like luminous products, so I definitely went ahead and picked this one up. It is in my project pan as well, but this one I will be decluttering it either when I'm done with it or whenever I just feel like I need to declutter it, just because I've noticed with this one that even though it looks nice on the skin, and you can mix it in with foundation, you can put it under your skin, you can just walk out with it on your face, you don't need to put anything over it. This one, I've noticed every time I put it on in pictures and sometimes even in videos, my chin area looks cool toned. And if you see me before, I am very warm toned, so it is not a good look. So for that, I will be decluttering this. It's not appealing on my warm complexion, so that's definitely going. Again, Wet n Wild. This one is their Photo Focus Hydrating Stick Balm. I will be keeping this one just because I do like this one. It is very cooling, and it just feels nice on the skin. It is a little bit oily, so just a little bit, nothing extreme. Now I'm saying that compared or in comparison with the Milk Makeup foundation, not foundation, what is this called? It's right here, cooling stick. Yeah, the cooling water stick or whatever. It's basically the same thing. It's just that this one's the drugstore version and this one's the high-end version. So the only difference between them is that this one's just a tad bit more oilier than this one. This one definitely isn't. I will also be keeping this one. This is a sample size of, or a deluxe size of, or maybe it's a travel size. Whatever it is smaller than the bigger version. I do have the bigger version that I picked up at Marshall's in one of my bins over there, so when I finish this one I will definitely hop onto that one. But I do like both of these. I like the idea of being able to apply to your face instead of getting your hands dirty. I hate having to get my hands dirty, so that's a really nice touch. It's just like that Wet n Wild one that you can spray on. I think that's such a good you know, it's convenient. I really do like it, and I really like that you can apply these that way as well. So those I will be keeping. This one here, I am actually going to be getting rid of. I don't remember if I left this one in my project pan or not. I will have to double check, but this one is definitely leaving just because I do not like the formula of this. I said this one's a little bit oily, which I can deal with. I don't mind because it's really not overwhelming, but this one is, it's just disgusting, guys. It's very oily and it smells overwhelming as well. What I was thinking of doing is getting rid of the actual product, just because I feel like I've had it long enough, you know, guys. And this is also like a cream product, whatever you guys want to call it. You know, it's not a powder product, so it's definitely gonna go bad before it went bad. Probably. I'm trying to smell it. I don't think it smells bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I've had it for a while and I just don't think that that's a good idea with these type of products. So what I'm gonna do is I'll probably end up getting rid of the product inside because I don't want to pass this along just because I've had it for that amount of time. And I'll probably end up reusing the packaging because you can reuse it with this. I don't know if I showed you that on camera, if I was just smelling, but you can definitely get rid of the product inside and reuse the packaging. And I do like the packaging, but I will be definitely decluttering the formula. So that's going. This one is also in my project pan. I am almost done with it, so I will be putting this one specifically in my declutter pile just because I will not be repurchasing a deluxe size of that. But with that said, I do have the larger version of it, the Becca First priming filter. I do like it. It smells like Fruit Loops, and it has that sheen, I want to say, or it has that luminous, finish to it. So I will be keeping this one, of course. It's still brand new. And speaking of which, I also have the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This one, I also like it. Is the difference between these two that I've noticed is that this one is not as luminous as this one. This one has a little bit more luminosity to it. And the reason I left it in its box is because it's been in my drawer. And I figured let me take it out and actually start using it because I don't want it to go bad in my drawer. So this is the backlight one. I will be keeping this as well. I picked them both up on sale. I think it was the Ulta sale, and I'm glad that I did. I did also have a deluxe size of that one, but I ended up giving it to my sister just because she said she needed a primer, so I passed it on along to her. But regardless, we are moving on to the L'Oreal Magic Lumi. This one I am keeping. It is in my project pan. I haven't really made a huge dent in this, and I don't mind not doing that because I do want to keep it around because I do like this one. I love the way that it smells, and I also like that unlike that Wet n Wild one, it doesn't leave like parts of my face with that cool toned look to it. So I will be keeping this one, and I like that it's a little bit more watery and stuff, so this one's definitely staying. And I did want to mention really quickly, I did have the foundation for this, which I did like the formula of, but the shade range as far as undertones went, it just wasn't up to par. So unfortunately I did have to declutter that one a while ago, so just in case you're wondering. Next one is my Natasha, look at me, Natasha. My Tasha, the silk canvas. This one is in the travel size. I love this thing. My only pet peeve with this is that you actually have to go in there and actually rub the product onto your hands, and then like, you know, like soap, you just put it on your face. But I feel like the formula is nice and it smells really good. I wouldn't even know what to, it kind of smells kind of like fruity, like Fruit Loops, like this one over here from Becca, but it's just amazing. I really do like this one. I need to give it more love because I really do like it. So this one is definitely staying. This one from First Aid Beauty, I do enjoy this one. I think I will probably end up putting this one in a project pan for next year because I really don't want it to go bad. I've had it for a little while now and it still smells good. It still smells, you know, like fruity, like it first day when I picked it up. If you get your hands on a sample of this, it would be better to try it out that way instead of going for the big one because this is really big. And even though it looks like it's not a lot in here, trust me, this thing will last you forever. I had the sample of this from Sephora and that little thing, guys, it lasted me months using it, you know, back to back to back. So just keep that in mind. But this one I will be keeping it. I will say I do have dry skin, normal to dry skin, and this works like a cream, which I really appreciate. I really like primers like that you know, feel like cream, because you could literally apply this and just walk out the door, and under foundations it feels amazing. You know, it feels hydrating and it smells delicious. If you have oily skin, I will say I have oily skin friends that have tried this and I've seen them try it and it does peel up, but after they take out the peel, like, because you could just like just rub it off your face, after that again it's like a cream and they're just fine. You could continue on with your makeup application, so just a warning with that. But that one is staying. And last but not least, I have my Wet n Wild primer serum. This is the hydrating one. This one I picked up earlier this year. I do love the way that this one smells and I do like the way that it looks. I don't know if you can see it here. I'll try to like move it around, but it has like that gold, just like a sheen to it inside the actual formula. So just a heads up. I don't think it's bad. It also has a dropper, so just a heads up on that. And it smells, oh, it smells so good. So it smells good to me, let me just say it that way. So if you're like very sensitive to scents, just realize that this one does have some scent to it. But I do like this one. I like mixing it with foundation, so just, you know, putting it on my face, walking out the door. That's what's good about this one. And that's also true for the Magic Lumi. You could mix this in with your foundation. You could put it on, walk out the door, or you could put it under your foundation, however you want to go with it. So let's see, I am getting rid of one, two, let me bring it up to you. I am getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4 primers, and I am keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keeping 7. Wait, did I just say 8? Keeping 8. Getting rid of 4. And that is a healthy number for me because I actually do go through them. So those are the ones that are staying. Next, let's see. Let's go with foundations. Now, this is a category that I never have too much of, or I never try to have too much of, just because once I find something that I like with foundations, I typically stick to it. That's just the way it's always been for me personally. Usually what I've been trying to do lately is to take that ideology and just run it across my whole collection, just because, you know, it's, if you like something, you just stick with it, and if you deviate from that to try something new, that's fine. But don't let your collection just get overwhelming to the point where it's just like, oh, I'm putting off the things that I like because I have these other things that I also want to play with, and then the thing that you like the most goes bad. You get what I mean? So just a heads up at that. So let's continue. This is going to be pretty easy. I'm actually going to start here with the ones that I do like. So right off the bat, I love my Anastasia Stick Foundation. I have it in the shade Tan, and I have one in the shade Golden. Now here you're going to realize that most of these are in the shade Golden. I think that these brands have me all figured out, honestly. So as far as this one goes, it's one of my favorites. I had 3 of these at one point. I did declutter one of them because the undertone was way too pink, and the same thing is going to happen here today. I'm staying with Golden, and I'm getting rid of Tan because Tan, I don't know why, it has more of a pinky undertone than Golden. So Anything with a pinky undertone, it doesn't flatter me, so this one unfortunately will be going. Let me make sure. Yeah, so that one's going, and I will be keeping golden. Next is another stick foundation. That's another trend that you'll see. I love stick foundations. I just came to discover that, I think either sometime late last year or this year, like earlier this year, I have been in love with stick foundations. I think that they're much easier to work with as opposed to something that's liquid. It's just, for me, it's easier, and I appreciate the convenience factor. So Wet n Wild. Now Wet n Wild, like I said, is one of my favorite drugstore brands. I did pick up the stick foundation before. This is not the first one that I've owned. I've owned it in a darker shade, and I've owned it in a much lighter shade for, you know, those looks that are good for like villains and stuff like that, like I did my series and stuff like that. That's what it was good for. But I just realized, you know what, I can work with what I have and just make that look work regardless of the shade of the skin of that character. So I decided to get rid of anything that just doesn't match my complexion. It's occupying space that it doesn't need to. So this one unfortunately will be going, just because this one is a little bit lighter than my complexion, and I've noticed that it does feel a little bit heavy on my skin. I typically don't go for heavier foundations, so that's why this one will be going. This is in the shade Golden Honey, and also I've noticed that it gets me a little dry in places, so unfortunately it's got to go. Alright, continuing on, I'm gonna go with another stick foundation. This is my Milk Makeup one, and this is in the shade Golden Sand. I told you most of these are in the shade Golden. I will be keeping this one. It's relatively new to my collection, and the color is just okay. You know, it's not too light, it's not too dark, it's just right. So this one will be staying, and the formula is nice and creamy as well. So that one I will be keeping. On the trend of the stick foundations, I have my Hourglass one. This one I just picked up literally like what, couple weeks ago during the sale. This is the Hourglass Vanish foundation stick in the shade Golden. I do like this one so far. I can't really share all of my thoughts on there because I literally just tried it once or twice, so but I do like it so far, so that will be staying. And here we go. This is my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation stick. It has a little cute window right there, and this is in the shade Y405. I think it does have a name somewhere, but I can't find it. Well, it's made in Japan, if you guys are curious. I do like this one. It was pretty expensive. Don't know, it's not going down, guys. Oof, that's not good. Anyways, it's creamy and it's just my perfect shade. I will be keeping this one because I do like it. So that one's staying. Here is where things get a little bit, you know. So my Maybelline Dewy and Smooth. I do love this foundation. It's in the shade 240 Golden Beige. I will be decluttering this one, but I will be picking up a second batch of this just because this one's way old, and you know, I don't mind decluttering it just because literally I've used almost all of it up. It's like down to here right now. I do love it, but I'm not sure where I'm gonna put this for now. I think I'm just gonna put it in the decluttering pile because I don't plan on picking it up anytime soon, just because I have these to work with. So I will be decluttering this for now, and later on in the future, if I do decide to pick it up, I will let you guys know. But for now, it's staying in the declutter pile. This one is another foundation from Wet n Wild. This is the dewy one. I did try the matte one, and I do have a product review over on my blog if you're ever interested. I decided to pick up the dewy one just because, again, I have dry skin and I do like dewier products on my complexion, on my skin, and I do love the formula of this. The problem is that this is, I don't know why Wet n Wild does this, but anything with golden and beige in the same title usually throws me off, because I feel like beige is more like pinky undertone and golden is literally more yellow undertone, so it's kind of like, how does that mix? You get what I mean? So unfortunately I will be getting rid of this, even though I do love the formula. It's so dewy, it's so pretty, but that color just doesn't, it's a little bit too light for me. And unfortunately I did pick up the darker shade of this, the one that's has kind of like more of a golden undertone to it, but it was just too dark for me, so I'm not gonna keep on playing with these, unfortunately, even though I do like the formula. So that's going. And last but not least, this is the Thing of Nightmares. Truly it is. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is their Luminous foundation. I was so excited when I picked this up, guys. You really don't understand. I paid all of this stuff, I got with my own money, and you don't know how devastating it was when I found out all the terrible things about this thing. First of all, yes, it's very dewy and it looks very nice on the skin, but only for the first hour. You've probably heard me say this a million times before here on my channel. But after that hour, it's like you might as well just, I don't know, just go and wash your face, because this is terrible. It looks, your smile lines come out, anything bad that you have with, you know, going on with your skin, this will make it pop through. So terrible foundation, it really is. And I was willing to keep it for on camera, because usually I don't make videos that are longer than an hour. And you know, for that first hour, this does look good, so I'm like, you know what, I'll just use it for videos, no problem. But I came to realize, it clicked in my brain finally. I don't even know why the heck I forgot this in the first place, but with this foundation, I remember reading reviews when I first purchased it of people saying that this was breaking them out bad. And the last time that I used this, which was like a week or two ago, I don't remember, it was the only time that I actually used the foundation. I didn't use anything after this. So I'm here and I'm chilling in my house, and all of a sudden I started breaking out bad, guys, like bad. And I'm like, what the heck is wrong with me? It's not my time of the month. What's going on? And then it finally clicked in my brain, because I think somebody online, I read a review, you know, like right now, like during that episode that I was having with my skin flare up or whatever, and I'm like, it's the freaking foundation. It's the foundation. So based on that fact alone, this has got to go. This is terrible. So if you're acne prone, or even if you're not acne prone, this is just a freaking nightmare. Don't purchase this. Stay far away from this, because this will mess up your skin. Terrible. That's going. So as far as how many I'm keeping 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo! That's a really healthy number right there. I really do appreciate that. And as far as how many I am getting rid of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically a little bit more than half. So that's good. Alright, moving right on along with powders. You know what? Not powders, concealers, because that goes next for me. Alright. You know what? I'll leave them in here and I'll just go through them as I go. So right off the bat, Becca. This is their Backlight Targeted Color Corrector in the shade Peach. This here, I am getting rid of, not only because it smells like it wants to go bad, but also because, mind you, I haven't used this. This was just a little boo-boo that I had that my finger went in there by accident. But on top of that, I am not the type of person that has bad dark circles. I really don't. If anything, if I have like a rough night or anything, I actually get puffy under my eyes. But as far as darkness, I don't usually experience that, so I really don't even need this to begin with. So I will be passing this one along. These two from MAC I picked up during last year's Ulta sale, if I remember correctly. I have the Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, and I have the one in Painterly. This one in Painterly I used to do my cut creases, just because it's creamier and I feel like it's not too wet, and it doesn't slide all over the place, so that's why I like to do cut crease for this. And it's also more like white base against my complexion, so if I use anything, it will make that shadow pop against my lid. Now this one is Soft Ochre. I don't have as much love as that. It doesn't have as much love as that one, but this one I have thought about starting to use this one actually under my eyes, so I will be keeping it again and trying that with it. Now Maybelline Age Rewind. I have this one and I have the Fit Me, which I'll probably get to next. This one I will be keeping. I do like the shade. It is very similar to my NARS one in shade, which is basically perfect for me, for my complexion. And this is in the shade medium. I do like the sponge application. I know some people find that disgusting, but it's like, who else am I sharing this with? It's my face, for crying out loud. But I do like the twist up option for it as well. And I do like that you can keep just how would you say that? I can keep count of, I guess that's the way I would go about it, of how it's going. Keep track, there we go, that's the word. You can keep track of how you're doing with it through the see-through container. So that's a pretty cool thing, and the formula is really good, so I will be keeping that one. Alright, Fit Me. This one here is, I have mixed reviews on this, to be quite honest. The color range is terrible on this, as far as just the colors, period. I feel like they're too white based. it doesn't have any true undertones to it. If it's yellow, it's like a highlighter yellow. It's just, it doesn't look flattering on my skin tone, especially with, it's just too bright. And the actual formula is just wonky, so I will be getting rid of this, unfortunately. I really wanted it to work because this is, I've heard people say that this is a good dupe for the NARS, but I already have my NARS one, and I 100 times prefer this one over this one. I do have a backup for this one, and this is in the shade medium 2 ginger. I've had this for way too long. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to remember, I think I've had this since like don't laugh, since like 2015. I know it's a cream product, it's terrible, but it doesn't smell terrible. It doesn't smell, I haven't broken out from this, so I don't know. I told myself I need to get rid of this because I literally, it's still up to here, guys. It's still up to here. It's ridiculous. I've had it and I use this faithfully. So this one, I'm not going to keep on using it just because I really don't want anything to, I don't want to get a bad reaction from it. So this one's going to go, but I do have the backup here, actually. Let me bring it out. Where did I put it? Give me just one second. Here it is. And this time I was smart enough to get the travel size. It's a new year, it's a new me, and I'm older. And I make better choices now. I got the travel size this time just because this one has taken me literal years to go through with constant use. So this time I went with the tinier size, and hopefully I can actually, you know, get through this one. So this one I will be decluttering, this one I'll be keeping. This one I will be decluttering because I said, like I mentioned, you know, it's just the color is way off and the formula is wonky, so that one's going. And then this one, I am so upset with this one. Truly, guys, I am so sad. I purchased this based on the sample packet that they give at Sephora, and this thing was such a disappointment. I feel so cheated out of this product because the sample was perfect, it was magnificent, and even though this is a heavier product, it looks so amazing when I would use those samples. And all of a sudden I got to using this one after I purchased it. This is in the shade Creme Brulee, just in case you guys are wondering. I actually started using this one. I had high hopes, obviously, and when I put it on, not only did it make my under eyes look so aged, but it smells like paint, like literal concrete paint. Ugh. And it's just, it's a tragedy, honestly. I will unfortunately be decluttering this because what the heck am I gonna do with it? I can't cut crease because it's too yellow, and it'll probably throw off any color that I put on my lid, so unfortunately that's got to go. Find a new home. Last but not least, I have my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer in the shade Medium Light Beige. This one I do like the formula. I've been playing with it, and I've been telling you guys that I have been liking the way that it looks under my eyes. It doesn't crease, it doesn't look crazy, so I will be keeping this one. So right now, let's start counting these bad boys. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I'm keeping, and I am getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically I'm keeping one more, and to be fair, this is the corrector, so either way it's in the same category. That's what we're getting rid of. Doing good over here. Now powders. This is a relatively small collection that I have here. I know what I like here, and it works for me so wonderful that, you know, I just don't need to buy anything else because I know it does a trick for me. And that is my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Diffuse Light. I buy the travel size just because, just like my NARS, this thing lasts forever. And this, guys, this is just a travel size, and it is half the price of the bigger one. I've had this since I graduated, and that was back in 2017. So do the math there, guys. It's 2020, and I've had this since 2017. Constant use, guys. And this is how long it took me to finish up. So what I did is I did buy another travel size of this, and I'm just gonna keep on with the travel sizes because I can't imagine how long it would take to pan the bigger one. And with this, I go in with a fan brush and I really lightly just fan it all over my face. I don't need any much more than that because I do have dry skin. So this works perfectly. It brings a very nice just glow to my face that looks natural. It doesn't look ridiculous. It looks natural, and it's not only for me, and I've noticed, you know, just for me, I've noticed it with my friends that have different complexions. It's just a beautiful product overall, so I will be keeping this one. I do want to finish it up like completely. I only have like those little sides there, so that one's staying. Sorry guys, my camera caught off. But anyways, we were here with the Marc Jacobs Invisible Powder. This one I picked up at Marshall's. It was a really good price, and you know, I was really curious because I've heard great things about the loose powders from Hourglass, I think it was, and I'm like, well, you know what, maybe the reason that I've had tough luck with powders is just because I haven't been using them right, so let me just pick this one up and give it a fair shot. You know, it's a different brand, and let me just not be, you know, judgmental and try it out. So that's what I did, and same thing that happened with my Laura Mercier one. I tried it out with different things. I tried it out here on my YouTube channel a couple times with different foundations, different setting sprays, different primers. You know, I tried different things with it and nothing worked. So unfortunately, this one will have to go. I mean, you guys saw this coming. You guys definitely saw this coming. So I am definitely getting rid of this one, and I think I'm just gonna stay off and stay far away from loose setting powders. I really wanted to try that Hourglass one, but I think my problem is just with setting powders that are loose. I just need to stay away from them. Talking about loose setting powders, guys, this was one of the first setting powders that I tried. It was the Laura Mercier one, and I actually got the big tub of it before from Sephora, and I don't know what the heck I was thinking. It was my first experience with setting powders that were loose, and I should have known back then. It was just so terrible. I did end up returning that big tub, and then I got 2 samples of these, and I gave it another fair shot just because maybe I was, you know, that was when I was first starting out with makeup, so I'm like, maybe I didn't do it the right, you know, the right way. So I tried it out, you know, again with the smaller products, and it was not working. I tried it every which way and nothing worked, and I don't even know how the heck I ended up with this one. I think I made a purchase through Sephora and I ended up with another one. So this one, it will be going. And what else? I think I also tried from another brand as a loose setting powder. I think I have it here, as a matter of fact. I think it's Makeup Forever. Oh my gosh, that one was also bad. Even though it blurred, it still made me look like super dry. It's just too much. So I think I'm staying clear of setting powders that are loose. That's it. So that one's going. Last but not least, I have my Too Faced Peach Blur. This one I picked up at Marshall's as well. I think this one is limited edition, so unfortunately you can't get it. I'm not the type to get rid of limited edition products just because you guys can't get them anymore. I think that's the most ridiculous thing to ever just have been spoken into reality, because that's just ridiculous. There's still people out there that own these products even if others don't, so it's just good to still play with them and review them, so those that do have it could also see how you play with them so that they can get ideas on how to do it. That's my philosophy. But this one I will be keeping just because it's very similar, or very reminiscent to the Hourglass one. I do like it. It has that slight sheen to it, but it doesn't look bad on your skin. So I do like this, and it smells delicious. Faux peaches. I do like it. It is staying. So I will be keeping 2, and I will be getting rid of 2. Alrighty. Let me push this all the way back, and let me put this over here. And last but not least, guys, let me move back a little because there are a lot here. I do love my setting sprays. So these, I'm gonna put them over here. Just play with them like that. And actually, I have 2 of some of these, but I'll explain why. Let me just do it this way, just so that you can see them. I love setting sprays. It's one of my favorite categories just because I do go through them so quickly. This is the product that I go through the fastest in my whole entire collection. So I do like to have a few of these around. I think the reason why it's so easy for me to go through them is because all of them have sprays. So you're gonna see that I will be keeping a lot of these just because I do go through them quickly, and I don't mind having a few of them, you know, around just because I do go through them quickly. And I probably said that like 5 times already, but I'm just gonna go straight into this. Smashbox primer water. This is a sample that I got, I think, through Sephora. I will be keeping this just because I haven't played with them. I haven't tested it out, so I will be keeping it. Straight on down the line, this is my Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultrafine Mist. I will be keeping this one. It's relatively new. I believe I got it sometime this year earlier, so I will be keeping it. And not only that, I do love the formula of this. It's very dewy. It's actually dewier than my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and I thought nothing could ever top that, but definitely they do. I really do want to get a lot of use out of this as soon as possible, just because I think this is made from real ingredients or something like that, and I just don't want it to go bad, so I definitely want to play with this ASAP. This is the Mario Badusco Skincare facial spray, and I think it's cucumber and green tea. Cucumber and green tea. This one, guys, I actually don't use it as a setting spray. I use this as a toner, just something to refresh my face with. It smells so nice. It is refreshing indeed. I will be keeping this one, but I will be putting it over in my bathroom just because I don't use it again for setting sprays. This is a good thing to have for summer and just anytime that your skin just needs something to rehydrate it. This is from Morphe. This is a continuous setting mist. I have this in my project pan. There is literally nothing in there. Usually you'll hear like a little swish swoosh. Nothing. I will not be repurchasing this anytime soon. I do like the formula, I really do. It's a little bit stickier than most of the other ones that I have here, but honestly I just have so many others that I consider to be favorites that I really just don't need another one of these. If I do pick one up again, like I mentioned with my other ones, I will tell you ahead of time, but I will be decluttering that just because I won't be picking that up. This one is also in my project pan. This is from Wet n Wild. This is their Photo Focus Natural Setting Spray. They do have a matte one of these. I don't know if they have a dewy one. I really don't. I haven't looked it up. But this one I do enjoy. It reminds me a lot of my Urban Decay one. And if you look around, people will say that this is a good dupe for that one. I do like this one. So even though it's basically done, because it is in my project pan, I will be repurchasing it sometime soon. So I'll keep that one in my keep pile. This Milani Make It Last I will be keeping because if I remember correctly, I did like this one. I haven't played with this one in a while, but I do remember liking it, and I do love the scent. It's such a nice refreshing scent. So I will be keeping this one. This is, which one is this one? Because I think they have one that's also a matte one, and they have one that's not for, it doesn't say. Yeah, I don't remember. But anyways, I will be keeping this one. I do remember liking it, so that one's staying. And here is where we get to the good part. This one here, I don't use it as a setting spray, guys. I actually use this to emphasize my shimmers. This is what I use it for. Instead of going out and using some of my highlighters, because I know some people do that they'll just spray it onto their brush to amplify their shimmers. I actually just use the e.l.f. one. This reminds me, it's a little bit more watery than these other formulas. That's why I use it as a for my shimmers. So I don't know how I'm gonna include it. I will be keeping both of these. This one's almost done. I'm gonna jump straight into this one as soon as I'm done with this one. It's been a while since I've actually amplified any of my shimmers, but I definitely just keep these around just in case I do need to do that. So I will be keeping both of these. As a matter of fact, this one's almost done, so I'll probably end up putting it into this one and just get rid of that one. And then last but not least, I have both of my all-nighters. This is my favorite setting spray, period. If you put this on your face will stay intact all day and all night. I have tried it, guys, so I can say that with confidence. I love it. It melts my makeup together. It feels cooling and hydrating. It's not hydrating, but just definitely cooling. So I do love it, and I will be staying with these as long as it keeps working for me. I do have backups over here. I think I have like 2 more backups because I do tend to go through these pretty quickly. I have the tinier version one. This is what I used to travel with, just so that they don't try to take this away from me at the airport. So I will be keeping both of these. So all in all, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that I'm keeping. I don't know if you would like to put these 2 together since they're essentially the same thing. And then I have 1, 2. Oh, yep, that's it. That's all I'm getting rid of, guys. So this is basically everything I'm getting rid of from this whole thing. I'm trying to see if I could put it so that you guys can see everything on the screen. And this is everything that I will be keeping from all these categories. I just want to give you guys a visual. Eventually I will do another tour of my vanity just so you guys can see how I organize everything. You guys let me know how you feel about that. But this is everything that I'm staying with. It might look like a lot, but honestly guys, it really isn't, because most of this I really do go through fairly quickly. Same thing with the primers, relatively I go through them quite quickly, and the rest is just literally my favorites, so it's not much. I hope that you guys enjoyed this declutter. If you guys did, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye!